Everybody loves Breath of the Wild, but not me. I find the latest entry in the beloved Legend of Zelda franchise chock full of seriously aggravating design decisions, and I aim to whine about all of them. Welcome to Bad Breath of the Wild. As I mentioned in a previous video, Breath of the Wild doesn't include an instruction manual, physical or digital, so it's up to the game to teach players everything they need to know about how to play it, from which button swings Link's sword to how to read the game's HUD. Sometimes the game does a fine job of this. Sometimes it does not. And rather than spend half an hour exhaustively explaining every single instance where I feel the game comes up short in this regard, like the original script for this video would have done, I'm instead going to focus on one mechanic of the game and how Breath of the Wild goes about teaching it to the player. Cooking. Your first major task in Breath of the Wild is to visit the 4 shrines on the Great Plateau. One of them is up on a snow-covered mountain, but as soon as you enter the area, the game informs you via Link's shivering animation and a pop-up message that Link will freeze to death if you don't find a way to keep warm. Okay, how do you do that? Well, the game hasn't said, so let's open the inventory and see if I have anything that could help. I have a torch, but no way to light it. I have pants and a shirt, but they're not warm enough. I have a bunch of restorative items, so I could make a run for the shrine, scarfing food as I go to keep Link's health topped up. I don't really want to do it that way, but it is an option. Oh hey! The spicy peppers I found growing right outside the entrance of this snowy area will raise your body temperature and help you withstand the cold. Nom nom nom. Still shivering. Oh, you need to cook them first. Alright, well, so far the game hasn't said anything about cooking, but I do recall the old man telling me when I picked up the baked apple lying next to his fire that an apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. So, dropping foodstuffs on a fire must be how you cook. Unfortunately, there's no fire here, and I don't have any flint to use to start one. Well, I know there's a fire at the old man's camp, but before heading back there, I may as well take care of this shrine, since I'm in the neighborhood. So I walk out of the snowy area and start climbing towards the other shrine. And because climbing is slow and boring, I'm not paying attention and don't notice Link's health dropping, so I'm taken by surprise when he suddenly dies and falls off the cliff face. Turns out, even though there's no snow here, this area is cold too. I had assumed that a lack of snow meant that the temperature was fine. Nope. It's just cold where it's cold, and the only way to figure out if a non-snowy area is chilly enough to kill you is to take the time to walk on over. Which means you could easily waste your time journeying to a location that looked interesting, only to find that you don't have the tools necessary to survive there. Lovely. Okay, well, these 2 shrines are in the cold, and I've already completed the other 2, so it's back to the old man's camp to cook some peppers. I warp to the Shrine of Resurrection, run out of the cave and down the hill to the camp, drop my spicy pepper in the flames, and it magically poofs into a charred pepper. I pick it up, hoof it back to the cold area, nom nom nom, and Link is still shivering. Turns out, roasting food items by dropping them on an open flame does not count as cooking. You need to use a cooking pot. How would you know that? What do they look like? Where can you find them? How do you use them? Are there any on the Great Plateau? As it happens, there are several, and I've shown you 2 of them. Even if you've played the game and know exactly what a cooking pot is, you might not have noticed because you didn't know to look for them and nothing was calling attention to them. So even if a player does happen to pass one, it's possible they may not recognize it for what it is. Now, I came into Breath of the Wild knowing how to cook, because I'm a big dork who watched all 4 hours of Nintendo's E3 presentation, so when I first played the game, my frustration stemmed from not being able to find a cooking pot. I didn't have warm clothing, I didn't want to do the thing where you eat restorative items while running through the snow, and this shrine can't be reached without climbing, so using a torch to keep warm wasn't an option. I needed to cook a meal that would protect me against the cold, or I was not progressing in this game. So, after looking around for a cooking pot and not finding one, I tried dropping a spicy pepper in a fire, and when that didn't work, I shut the game off in a grumpy huff. Then I turned it on again a few hours later, found a cooking pot, made a lovely plate of spicy sautéed peppers, and took care of the shrine on that snowy mountain. Then I learned something funny. It turns out that other shrine, this one here, is not in the cold. It's just the area surrounding it that's cold. Of course, the lack of snow surrounding that shrine does not mean a lack of cold, so there's no way you could know that without taking the time to climb up there. If this ledge was covered in snow, I would have said, oh, it's cold there, and walked around the base of the cliff looking for a non-snowy path up to the shrine. And if I'd done that, oh hey, a cabin. Let's check it out. Oh hey, a cooking pot. Now, for any gamer that did not come into the game knowing the specifics of the cooking mechanic, I think there's a high probability that if they run into a cauldron with a fire underneath it while they're trying to figure out how to cook their spicy peppers, they'll figure it out on their own without the game spelling it out for them. Say, while we're over here, let's check out the cabin. Well, 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 the old man's diary. So, this is his place. He never mentioned he had a cabin up here. I thought we were friends. Well, I guess I don't feel too bad about reading his diary then. On this desolate plateau, the only thing that brings me comfort is cooking. Oh? Do tell. Reading on, we learn the old man has created a dish called the spicy meat and seafood fry, which will restore health and keep you warm. That sounds useful. Unfortunately, he forgot the recipe, but writes that if anyone can figure it out, he'll reward them with his warm doublet, a coat we can use to explore the snowy mountain at our leisure. So, even if a gamer can't figure out how to cook the spicy meat and seafood fry, if they can figure out the recipe, they won't need to. The diary reveals 2 of the 3 ingredients needed to make the spicy meat and seafood fry: raw meat and a spicy pepper. What could the 3rd ingredient be? Spicy meat and seafood fry. Raw meat, spicy pepper, and what would combine to make a spicy meat and seafood fry? It's fish, obviously. Back to the old man! How do we tell the old man about the fish? Maybe we need to have a fish in our inventory first. So you check the map, find a body of water, make your way over, grab a fish, head back to the old man, and there's still no new dialogue option. Dude, it's fish. Fish. Here, look. Fish. No? Okay, maybe you need to have all the ingredients. Let's find some raw meat. Wander around until you find an animal, shoot it, and voila, raw meat. Okay, how about now? Still no new dialogue option. Here's all the ingredients. How about now? Dude, it's fish! Fish! What do you want from me? Is the missing ingredient not enough? Do you need me to cook the damn thing for you? Fine. Run back to the cabin, dump the ingredients in the pot. Spicy meat and seafood fry. Shrine of Resurrection, down the hill. How about now? No? Do I have to eat it in front of you? There. Happy? No? Damn it, old man! What do you want from me? So, how do you get the warm doublet? Simple. You cook the spicy meat and seafood fry, then you talk to the old man. When he's at the cabin. You can't talk to him over here. You have to talk to him when he's over here. And it turns out he's over here at night. Of course, there's no way you'd know that unless you just happened to visit the cabin at that time. Anyway, talk to the old man when he's at this specific place at this specific time, and not only will you be able to obtain the warm doublet by telling him the missing ingredient to his spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, but he'll also teach you how to cook. Hey folks, on Saturday, November 3rd, I'm playing video games for 24 hours to raise money for the Rady Children's Hospital as part of the Extra Life charity event. Last year, you helped me raise $1,200. This year, let's shoot for $1,500. You'll find a link to my donation page in the description. What will I be playing? Breath of the Wild.